Excuse me, just
Hold on, outside ball is stepped up. The champ is here!
Even among the contrasting group of boxing legends, Shannon Briggs is just something else.
The champ is here!
And Jones, beaten by Bone Crusher Smith, Tony Tucker.
There's a left hand.
The last gangster of that glorious era had been altering jawlines since the early 90s. Scored a record number of first-round finishes.
Position early. Watch out for that first one. And Bowen goes down.
And donned the championship belt in the 2000s.
Into following up with the left. The right down goes Hoban.
He's still relevant these days, extravagantly weaving himself into sporting folklore.
Let's go, champ!
Today we recall the high-voltage knockouts.
Away from the game. Now there's a couple of left hands and a big right hand.
And the wild antics of this explosive pugilist that earned him the nickname, the Cannon.
He's got tremendous.
Let's go, champ! Yeah, nigga!
Shannon was born in 1971 and comes from the same New York City neighborhood as Riddick Bowe and Tyson. It was Iron Mike who once scared Brick stiff in Bristol Park, inspiring the scrawny, asthmatic boy to start pumping iron.
I'm glad I didn't run that day. Wow. It changed my life. Because I was looking at you. I was a little boy. I was just looking at you. And I said, damn, I want to be like that. Yeah. I want to come on and people be scared.
However, Shannon's life beat him down worse than older kids on the block ever could, and his drug-addicted single mother couldn't save her son from homelessness. Tyson had become the undisputed world champion by then, earning millions as an iconic figure. The destitute Briggs once again followed the example of his ghetto neighbor, and at the age of 17, settled in the local gym, where the coach allowed him to stay at night.
She said, well, if I buy these boots, you're going to have to knock them out fast because, you can't breathe after, second, third round. I said, don't worry. I'm going to knock them all out in the first round.
By 20 years old, Shannon's mane of hair was almost as impressive as his amateur career, where he captured several titles and became the third best heavyweight in the U.S. The prospect's sheer physicality grew alongside the weight on the barbell. And soon he was recognized by the sports elite.
You like that?
Despite missing the Olympics due to an injury, Briggs caught the eye of Tyson's former coach, Teddy Atlas. He took up the young prodigy, convincing him to join the pro ranks in July 1992.
First professional fight.
Chained by amateur restrictions no more, Shannon quickly realized things get real when money is involved. He hurried to call an ambulance.
He's got his own designer. Good left hook by Briggs.
Good body shot by Briggs. And a straight right.
But not for himself.
When you saw it.
No, he doesn't want to.
Getting his first KO with body shots, Briggs proved he was ready for the big leagues.
Congratulations to the pros. The same as the amateurs?
No, not at all. Big jump, no headgear, shirt off.
Shannon kept striking while the iron was hot, dispatching 3 more guys inside of a round. In 5 months, the heavy-hitting maestro bulldozed through 10 opponents.
Shannon Briggs comes down.
9 of them adorned the canvas with their discombobulated bodies.
He's got tremendous power and down goes.
And just like that, every boxing fan was put on notice about the young gun, appropriately named the Cannon.
Left hook, good right hand.
While Iron Mike was behind bars, Briggs got declared the second coming of Tyson. Possessing such calamitous power and towering at 6 feet 4 inches tall, he would send people into the dark void one after another.
Uppercut back elbow left, providing an awkward target for Briggs. There's a left hand.
The first one to give him a challenge was Mark Young, who made it a good scrap back in '94.
Odom never made it here, so it's Young who has stepped in.
And Mark Young made it clear to us, he didn't come here to lose.
Both athletes threw caution to the wind in 2 straight rounds. The vet proved susceptible to long-range blasts.
Has pretty much controlled the tempo, and he rips off a combination.
I haven't seen Shannon, oh my, big right.
And endured the explosions in the pocket.
Asked him to double up late on that one.
Briggs particularly focused on the midsection. Mark slowed down and got lost in the fog of war. With a minute left on the clock, Shannon went all in.
He used the jab beautifully there, Shannon Briggs. And a combination sends Young down.
That same year, Briggs's millstones grinded the respectable Jimmy Ellis.
Handed heavyweight, several-time Golden Glove champion in New York with Teddy Atlas, whose corner is not a lot of feeling out.
He wants to finish this one in a hurry, Ellis. So Jimmy Ellis.
The rest of the opposition couldn't withstand the cannon's might either.
It's singular jabs. If he would double up with the jab,
And Shannon closed the year of 1994 with a record of 20-0, including 17 knockouts, 12 of them in the opening stretch.
Every time Bowen has stepped up.
In January 1995, Briggs faced Craig Payne, who in fact started boxing just to lose weight. The pudgy Major Payne casually swallowed continuous jabs
By the delaying tactics here.
and proved to have a solid belly all around.
The fight usually takes him on much shorter notice.
Shannon didn't want to risk it with a boxer who once defeated a young Tyson and went the distance. As Briggs made it to the top 25 and realized that dragging fights to decisions wasn't gonna cut it, he redeemed himself in short time.
Jones weighing in at 19 stone and 9 pounds and under pressure early on here. What a start this is from Shannon Briggs, the New Yorker. Beaten by Bone Crusher Smith, Tony Tucker, Franz Boter.
A year later, the Cannon was back on a run of 3 unfortunate opponents.
Well, what a start this by Shannon Briggs, and it's all over.
They never lasted until the 3rd minute.
Well, there's so much time. Oh, the gum shield's gone now. From a right hand, and Griffin in big bother now. And it's all over, surely.
Instead, he rushed after Shannon Briggs, and he has paid the price. Shannon
those
Briggs
body
ripped
shots are
after this fight.
devastating. Now he should have tried to hang on, and that's it.
In 1996, Shannon was matched against the unbeaten finisher, Darrell Wilson. A ticket to the upper echelon was at stake, and Briggs promised to bring Big Cannon energy. He jumped headfirst into a ferocious slugfest.
Left hook by Briggs. Darrell Wilson has never been knocked down, but Briggs has twice connected now with that left hook.
Wilson was put on skates right away.
Another left hook lands. Wilson wobbly. Briggs trying to finish him right away, as he's done in each of the last 3 bouts.
Not giving in to fear, Darrell launched a counteroffensive.
There'll be no first-round knockout tonight.
Albeit winded, Shannon unloaded consecutive concussive shots in the 2nd frame.
Briggs again getting hit. Now he knocked.
Still, he shouldn't have lingered on the inside in the 3rd.
Briggs landed a straight right hand.
You don't have to reach out. Briggs has got to understand that.
After receiving a cut, Briggs lost concentration and stayed within point-blank range.
Above the right eye. And that's a big target for Wilson, and he floors Shannon Briggs. This is over.
Clocked with a left hook, Shannon realized he was no longer at the top of the food chain for the first time. Disappearing for a while, Briggs was uncharacteristically inactive, competing just 4 times in a year and a half.
Competition early. Watch out for that first one. And Bowen goes down.
Nevertheless, his warheads kept finding their targets at will.
Every time Bowen has stepped up, and that's all.
This was enough for Briggs to get his dream match versus George Foreman in 1997. With 68 knockouts and 80 bouts, Big George had been scaring people to death since the 70s.
To the side of that, a right uppercut, a left jab, and a vicious left.
The terrifying Tank could still throw heat even in the 90s.
Making that fight.
Becoming the division's oldest champion in history. Briggs hopped on the bike at the outset, and they engaged in an enchanting routine of jabs.
Foreman working behind. It'll depend on the money, Lennox.
Piercing shots to the torso.
First round here.
And uppercuts.
Ring and stays away from.
The key difference was Shannon's left hook, delivered with metronomic regularity.
70% out of him sooner or later, meaning for his.
Meanwhile, George invested in his signature overhand right.
In his conquest now, he's back and punching. You see that? Yeah.
Briggs caught the rhythm at the midpoint with combinations to all levels.
Hard right. Keep punching George like that, right there. And he's got to try to get.
And tagged Foreman with single detonations.
Harold Letterman gave him the round also.
But in the 8th, the tables turned dramatically.
Particularly against a fighter like
Foreman nailed him with a big right and took the round from the seemingly idle cannon.
Low, very good shot.
In the following 3 minutes, Briggs willed himself to restore the status quo.
Yep, but he's fighting.
Even still, the old guard wouldn't give in to the 25-year-old contender.
Knockout. Totally one-sided affair. The two had dominated with body punching. Oh, that was a good body shot by Shannon. Hard right hand of the body.
George kept it wildly competitive in the 11th.
Some good angles. He's throwing some pretty good punches. Because you're the one who's supposed to go out there to show yourself.
To close the show, the 48-year-old Foreman floored the gas pedal and broke Shannon's nose.
As he can choose his opponents this carefully.
With the roaring crowd thirsty for blood, Briggs located the target. And banked the classic ending.
Seconds to go. Point, but to our eyes it appears he's not in danger of that.
In the span of 36 minutes, the athletes produced nearly 1,000 punches. Despite Foreman's lead in significant strikes, the controversial decision and $400,000 of prize money went to Briggs. George received a consolation prize of $5 million, retiring with a big fat check.
And I'll see you later.
As for Briggs, he cashed in on the opportunity to challenge for the WBC belt, held by Lennox Lewis. The Olympic gold medalist was in the midst of his quest for the undisputed heavyweight belt, the very quest that would see the entire aristocracy of the 90s buried.
His jab's more powerful.
Oh! Wonderful shot!
Got hard. Yeah, you can't take that from him.
In March 1998, pundits gave Briggs little chance, spurring Lewis to charge forward.
Too far forward and driven back, and his starter, big key in many of his fights.
Shannon slowed him down.
The story of this fight is, can Briggs do something?
Fraud checked the abdomen.
Briggs.
And the battle for the best hairstyle in the division title became intriguing.
Could set itself up for a fight as a hook by Briggs. Now Briggs taking his chance. A hook to Lewis.
Lewis was never the running type. Turns out, it depends on who's chasing him.
Chopping right hand, and Lewis is reeling. Here comes Briggs with a leaping left hand. Lewis.
Saved by the bell, Lewis started putting punches together in the second stretch.
By Briggs.
And utilized the right hand more often. Against all odds, this dark horse was still kicking.
So Briggs shakes his head. Yes, a good hook by Briggs. Lewis again. Third shot. Back to the corner. Briggs going all out.
Roles then got reversed. Briggs attempted to fend off with his lead hand,
Lewis trying to get the right hand,
while Lewis aggressively stormed the breaches.
By Lewis. Uppercut by Lewis. Good shot at... No.
Before the fourth round began, they both smiled. but Shannon's playfulness quickly faded.
It has been excellent thus far.
Blood boiled, sweat droplets scattered across the canvas, and Briggs melted for the first time.
Both fighters sprinted out of the gate, and Briggs is down. If you hold on to the ropes for support, it can be called a knockdown.
He struggled to get off the hook for a whole minute.
Right cross by Lennox Lewis. Briggs is game, but gets driven back again. Lewis has an opportunity. How tired is he? We will find. Good punch by Lewis. 3 shots there.
A glimmer of hope shined for a moment.
Gets hit by Briggs.
Only to dim again.
Both fighters too tired to finish it, and Briggs is down again.
In the 5th, the Black Mesa entered its final stage. While Shannon's heart refused to plunge into the abyss of despair, the body wasn't so unwavering.
And Briggs is down. It may be it. He was rocked. He shows his gameness in the crowd, disbelief on his face. How many times does he have to put Briggs down before this will be over? These are big shots.
He stood up again and fell victim to his own fervor.
Shots by Lewis. Uppercut, left hook, the right hand. Briggs goes down on his own accord, and it's over. He's telling Frank.
Spinning a carousel in the champion's head.
Could set itself up for a fight as a hook by Briggs.
And nearly making him flee the ring.
Chopping right hand, and Lewis is reeling. Here comes Briggs with the...
Briggs heroically endured 3 knockdowns.
And Briggs is down. His fighter sprinted out of the gate, and Briggs is down. 6. And Briggs make it. 7.
However, his inability to maintain balance eventually resulted in a stoppage.
Champion of the world, Shannon!
The $1 million of prize money was spent in 9 months, so the American Cannon made a comeback and launched a victorious salvo. As usual, the opponent bowed out in less than a round.
Stance. Again is the shot.
Shannon, he just had a birthday on the 4th of December.
Around the turn of the century, talks of a showdown with Tyson arose, but first Shannon had to go through Francois Botha. The South African was a former IBF champion and occupied a contender spot in the Royal Division. The 27-year-old Briggs set the slaughter in motion early.
He's a visionary. Ooh, look at that.
He relentlessly catapulted the right hand.
Briggs does have the shot talking to him like he did his last fight. Good right hand.
And skillfully switched targets on his brilliant jab.
Because that's the key to the victory.
Shannon didn't forget the patented bodywork either.
He's still not atoned.
In the 3rd stretch, both decided to show why they called him the White Buffalo.
He's letting...
Oh, there's a smacking left hook.
And the Warriors kicked it up a notch.
Both are doing the fighting right now.
An overhand right. Wild miss.
They continue to rack up the punch counter.
What the man was talking about. So when... Look, he got out of the way. He's starting to time it. He throws a punch out just to make that move. Briggs is hurting.
And when the roar of the cannon began to damage the eardrums,
with what appears to be not very quick right hand,
Francois returned the favor in spades.
With a double left jab. There it is.
There's Briggs has got in his jaw.
Overhand right.
In response, Shannon tried to rush his way in.
Shannon Briggs to the chin of Francois Botha.
Yet he unwisely threw away the red cape.
Off the top of the head goes Briggs.
And ended up mano-a-mano with a raging bull in a squared circle.
He's just toying with the left, nails it with the right.
Shape. What he's able to do with performance.
In the second half, it became clear that the fighters watched the Rocky movies too many times.
An abrasion above the right eye of Botha, who just a cut over the left eye.
The astonished spectators witnessed the initiative change hands more often than Snoop Dogg's blunt.
Those wild lefts against Lennox Lewis. And Botha just walked in.
Ridiculous. I cannot understand.
Late into the 8th, Briggs dug deep, spelling trouble for the enemy.
That eye. It could be.
There's a straight right hand by Briggs, his best punch. 11 and both is down. It's a knockdown.
Shannon couldn't finish him off, though.
Once again, It's
hanging in there. It's all hard.
As the curtain was falling, two ring gladiators charged into battle again.
You saw what he was doing. That was one of my keys too. You had to land that right hand, get inside work there.
For there were still things to destroy.
There's no question that Francois Botha is the braver man.
And men to cripple.
What a powerful overhand right by Botha. Another straight right hand by Botha. Oh, just before the bell, Botha comes on big.
The 10-round marathon of adrenaline-fueled rage ended without a clear winner. The judges were divided in their opinion, and the intense melee was declared a draw.
Draw!
Despite sending people rolling left and right, Briggs would spend 6 years stuck in the friend zone of boxing organizations. During this stretch, the cannon's caliber grew up to 260 pounds, and he flattened 10 bodies in 12 battles. The American also managed to endeavor into K1, getting acquainted with Tom Erickson's low kicks.
Kicked the shit out of me, champ.
Yeah.
I think I'm the first guy ever to scream in the history.
Luckily, Shannon pulled the plug just in time.
He came in the punch at that point. And when he came in the punch, right, poof, hit him, champ.
Outside the ropes, Briggs was equally successful. His curly hair shined in Brooklyn Bros music clips, and he made appearances on the big screen in blockbuster movies worldwide.
I'm gonna kick you, motherfucker!
In 2005, Shannon had a chance to climb out of the ranking purgatory. Undefeated African fighter Abraham Okine promised to wage war, but showed up without a helmet.
Fought Tony Tubbs when he was 45 years old, and they traded knockdowns in the first round.
Briggs, on the other hand, brought the cannons with him.
They trade left hands, now a right hand over the top from Shannon Briggs, and Okine goes down.
He quickly came out for an encore.
Quite a lot. Second knockdown scored of this first round.
The lack of combat ideas was evident for Okine.
It's not to stand at the ends of the punches of Okine.
And Shannon made him dance.
Moments of what has been a big first round for Shannon Briggs. He gets him again. Okine saved by
Abraham watched himself get brutalized for 2 more rounds.
Briggs. A name.
Until Briggs got bored.
He was away from the game. Now there's a couple of left hands and a big right hand.
The American's left hook could not miss. He added an overhand and ended the shift early.
He was away from the game. Now there's a couple of left hands and a big right hand.
Soon after, Briggs crossed paths with Olympic champion and former WBO monarch Ray Mercer. Boasting 34 wins and 25 KOs under his belt, Ray was no stranger to spectacular destructions. Mercer had only been finished by Vladimir Klitschko, only succumbing to a standing knockdown. So he took the opening bombardments well. Ray responded with a rapier-like jab, and also went hunting for the head. Briggs paid back in a series of exchanges, landing swift 1-2s, and neutralizing Mercer's lead hand with overhand counters. He never stopped blasting the left either.
That is a power jab too. It's in the jab up, pop your opponent's head up.
Mercer frantically bit back from time to time, causing the fans to flinch regularly.
Exactly what you want from him. Good left.
Nevertheless, by the second half, Shannon settled in the driver's seat. And Ray suddenly got teleported into the neighboring dimension. Clocked with a sneaky left hook to the temple, Mercer began to sink into darkness. Briggs casually threw a couple of concrete blocks on the drowning man. This opportunity was precisely what 34-year-old Shannon had been waiting for. And with a series of early gambits, he collected secondary belts of all 4 major federations.
You looked like you were having a little bit of fun in there. I'm happy, I'm comfortable, I'm strong. I don't have to, I'm a heavyweight. That's what I'm gonna fight, heavy. And I eat a lot.
Rolling in dough, Briggs received a title shot against the WBO champion, Sergey Liakhovich.
I've been around a long time, but I'm a lot younger than people assume me to be. I'm 34. They got me listed as 44, basically, in people's mind. But
the Belarusian got caught under the tank treads at the outset.
And now he finally goes on the attack. Briggs swinging with rights, left hooks to the body. And Liakhovich steps back. And a couple of good left hooks to the head by Briggs, then follows it up with
But Sergey had seen much worse when the Soviet Union fell apart.
a big right hand to the head by
Managed to seize the initiative with merciless bodywork
Came in at 268. It's much.
and unexpected transfers up top.
It was 2 good jabs, but he doesn't follow it up. Combination of warning.
Now, the conventional wisdom is that we're headed into rounds in which
Briggs would respond with meaningful shots.
a couple of right hands be more active. That's pretty obvious. And now he is, and he's landed the heavyweight title as a challenger.
In the second half, he kept looking for another one-hitter quitter, while Liakhovich chained things together beautifully.
Are the answer. He's landed.
Liakhovich.
In the later rounds, Shannon brought in artillery support.
Keep him up.
Oh, there's
Big
a good right hand by Briggs.
Wow.
That got Sergey's attention.
Feel the sense of it from him.
Oh, big wicket. There's a big right hand again.
Just before the final bell, the Belarusian got fed up
Couple of significant shots.
and buckled.
Big right hand by Briggs. Looking to follow it up with a left. The right, down goes Liakhovich.
The endgame approached its last moments.
Have this breakthrough.
He's got to survive.
Can Liakhovich make it to the end?
Off the back of the head.
Oh, look out, Liakhovich down.
Landing a couple of rights
Table.
and knocking Liakhovich out of the ropes, Briggs pulled off a sensational ending with a second left to go
Brownsville, we back. DC, New Jersey.
and claimed the championship strap.
I'm crazy, man.
A year down the line, the threat to his reign came in the form of Sultan Ibragimov. The Olympic silver medalist with a flawless record of 20-0 was known for having a dynamite left hand.
Looping left hands, not a good thing for... he's down already.
Briggs started out strong.
Можно отнести, что в принципе он в ринге боксер спокойный, если его не ломают, вот если он не нарывается. Они понимают это все, но...
Yet the pneumonia bout he had suffered earlier drained the gas tank.
Жесткий удар.
Важно все-таки не попасть здесь в размене, потому что...
Воспоминание от Боду Холла нокаутировал его в 5-м раунде.
Leaving him unable to keep up with the Dagestani boxer's assaults.
Тот может в любой момент. Очень трудно, если человек, который отказывается расстыкивать, не входить в опасность.
Shannon still had explosive moments.
Большое впечатление в очередной раз. И им воспользовался вот таким сильным ударом.
And yet, in the end, Ibragimov emerged victorious in the judges' eyes.
Я думаю, что мог нарваться на неприятности. Налево Бригса своего главного оружия. Это мощно.
Losing the decision and the title, Briggs left boxing. Only to make a grand comeback 2 years later. Upon his return, he racked up 4 knockouts. As always, all in the first round. Among the victims was the future WBC and IBF champion, Rob Calloway, who promptly earned Shannon a shot at a prestigious belt. His opponent, Vitaly Klitschko, had not lost in 7 years, held the WBC Championship gold, and boasted an impressive stat of 38 KOs in 40 triumphs.
Der Junge wegstecken kann, aber jetzt
Right hand lands again. Johnson having trouble fighting back.
Aware of the danger in front, Briggs was cautious to engage in an all-out brawl. Protruding his head out rarely and tentatively. Vitaly, on the other hand, showed zero self-doubt.
Überlegt, soll ich die schlagen und hat dann gemerkt, nee,
commanding space with the lead hand throughout all 12 rounds.
Gut. Der linke Haken voll an den Kinnwinkel.
Had fun on the counter.
Jetzt spürt sein Asthma. Wieder gute Treffer.
And delivered powerful right hands in abundance.
Rote rechte nochmal.
To give credit where it's due, unlike Klitschko's previous foes, Shannon had no intention of going down, courageously lasting to see the final bell.
Ja, da stand Klitschko nah dran. Sekunden. Und da war die rechte.
Accepting the one-sided verdict and making no excuses, 38-year-old Briggs retired from boxing with a bag of money in hand.
How would you assess your career? Many have thought that maybe you've been an underachiever.
You know, where I came from, it was rough, and I'm way out of the ghetto, I'm way out of the hood. I'm feeling good about that, and I'm doing good for myself. I got a great family, 2 beautiful children. I'm doing great.
Bald Shannon's life in retirement was anything but boring. He discovered the internet, started showing off his body, and boosted the now legendary catchphrase,
The champ! Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ!
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ!
The harassment campaign against the younger Klitschko brother, Vladimir, gained worldwide popularity.
Remember Mickey and Rocky?
The American would crash press conferences and chase the Ukrainian from gym to gym.
You tired? Yeah, champ.
There was no escape, not even at a diner.
Shit. It's my shit. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
SUP surfing wasn't safe either.
Everywhere you go, I go. Say champ. Yeah, make a wave, dog. Make a wave. Yeah. Everywhere you go. What's up, champ? You okay? You okay, buddy? Get over here. Yeah, get over here for what? Fight me in the ring. Let's go, champ.
Riding the wave of hype and getting into shape during the break,
Yeah!
42-year-old Shannon returned to the ring in 2014. He dismantled 7 fellas along the way and added a few minor titles to his collection. Unfortunately, the money fight with the younger Klitschko never materialized, but in the hearts of fans, the war was won fair and square.
Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ!
Doped up like a racehorse, Briggs stepped into the ring for the last time at the age of 44.
Punches Shannon in the first part of the roll.
Prior to his next bout, he would piss hot for inhuman levels of testosterone. Thus, the American's official record froze in 2016. At 60 victories, 6 losses, 53 knockouts, 37 of which were in the first round. Today, Shannon is 51 and always the center of attention. The Cannon works as a trainer for celebrities and leads a public life, appears on popular podcasts, and doesn't forget his fight business buddies.
I'm with the champ, y'all!
Briggs doesn't shy away from a fun scuffle on camera.
Hey, come on, guys.
The conversations with Tyson about the old days are particularly touching.
The environment we was in was, it was rough.
It's all about survival.
Survival, you know what I mean? It's survival.
You're watching your friends kill people. You're watching your friends kill your other friends. Woo!
The good news, champ. Come on, touch it.
No, all that.
Let's go, champ. We survived. That's the good news.
I'm Mike Tyson.
And I'm the champ, Shannon the Cannon.
Let's go, champ.
If there was a sunset in the American's career, it certainly was a vibrant one. Shannon Briggs is often remembered for all the sensational antics and the catchy slogan. However, he emerged from nothing onto the boxing ring during an era when the level of competition at heavyweight reached historic heights. Rocking the arenas, Briggs combined devastating power with exquisite technique. Entered the elite club of champions. And never lost his youthful enthusiasm over 20-plus years of dynamic violence. A knockout machine.
And Bowen goes down. Let's go, champ.
A master of self-promotion. And a hilarious dude all in one. Beware the Cannon.